Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Melissa and I'm here to guide you through all levels yoga. We're going to practice together for 45 minutes. As a reminder, listen to your body through the practice. So if any stretches aren't working for you, please skip them, come on out and modify them. And as we begin today, you may want to have some props close by. A blanket can be really nice. A block can be really supportive as well. We're going to begin with a little poem that I came across about yoga that I thought ties in really nicely to the practice. It's called The Goal of Yoga. The yoga pose is not the goal. Becoming flexible is not the goal. Standing on your head is not the goal. The goal is to create space where you were once stuck, to unveil the layers of protection you've built around your heart, to appreciate your body and become aware of the noise that the mind creates, to make peace with who you are. The goal is to love. Come to your yoga mat to feel, not to accomplish. Shift your focus and your heart will grow. So I thought that was so beautiful. And, I love that it states, yoga isn't really about the pose. And I think that's so true. So many times people will say to me, I want to try yoga, but I'm not flexible, or I'm not good at this or that. And it really doesn't matter. Yoga is this really awesome opportunity to connect with your body and your breath and really to give yourself what you need. And that could be anything. That could be a workout, meditation, maybe just time for yourself, a little de-stress time. So it can really be anything that you need it to be, which is really awesome. So as we begin today, let's take a seated position comfortably and letting your eyes close. And you can sit in any way that feels comfortable for your body. You may want to have your legs crossed. You can always extend your legs out in front of you. We just want our body to be at ease. And then starting with a little shoulder roll. Let's take our shoulders up to the ears, create a large circle, and relax your shoulders away from your ears. Take a full breath in. Let's take the shoulders up, back, and down. And then one more time, let's breathe in, and then let's breathe out. And then as you let your shoulders relax here, we're just going to drop into our body. Observe your connection to the mat, just noticing where your body's touching the ground, edges of legs, edges of the feet. Ground through your sitting bones. Lengthen your spine, lengthen the back of your neck, reach and stretch through the crown of your head. And then dropping in, we'll begin to connect to the rise and the fall of the breath. Lengthening as you inhale, lengthen as you exhale. Maybe encourage your exhale to be a little bit longer than your inhale. And then as you breathe here, just noticing the 4 parts of the breath. So we often think of the breath as just one part. Noticing the inhale, the space, the pause, the exhale, and the space, the pause. And then noticing how each breath so freely flows one into the next. Without any thought, the breath moves seamlessly and the breath flows continuously one into the next. Take a moment here. Let's take our chin to our chest. Lengthen the back of your neck. Allow for your head to relax back. We're just going to do a little drop back. And chin to your chest. Allow for your head to relax back. And we're just going to take a little movement forward and back for a moment. And coming into a neutral neck, let's take our right ear to our right shoulder. Come up to neutral. Left ear to the left shoulder. realign, and then side to side. We'll just take a nice little neck flow here just to try to release any tension that may have gathered in the neck through your workday today. Coming into a neutral neck, let's let our gaze float off the right shoulder. We'll invite a little twist. Come back to center, let your gaze float off your left, and realign. And then let's take the side to side. Let's come back to neutral. Take a minute to send your chin forward. So we're just going to kind of jut the chin forward and then pull your chin back. Let the head float forward and pull it back, and then forward and back for a moment. And let's release that one. We're going to take a neutral neck here. Let's take our right hand to our left knee so the arm crosses your body. Left hand sweeps up and over. Find a side stretch here. Roll your left shoulder back. Right shoulder is rolling under. Heart is shining to the sky. Float yourself to a neutral spine. Let's take our left hand to our right leg so arms will be crossed. Chin to your chest. Breathe out. And then really rounding here. Maybe imagine creating space between the shoulder blades. Left hand stays where it is. Let's take that right hand up and over. We'll find a side stretch on the other side. And then grounding really firmly into that right sitting bone. Lengthen your side body, arm, and fingertips. Coming to that neutral spine. Right hand floats to the left. Arms are crossed. Chin to chest. Breathe out. Try to let go of any tension that you might be holding on to in the back of your head and in the back of your neck. Let's sweep those hands out to the sides of the room. We're going to take our hands right on up into prayer and release your hands to your heart, breathing out. Let's come on forward. We're going to make our way into table. And as you come into table, you may want to grab a blanket to pad your knees. We'll take our knees, our hips in line, wrists and shoulders in line. Feel the fingers stand wide, press through the index finger and press down through your thumb. We're gonna take a flow for balance or thread the needle. So let's take that right hand to the sky and then begin to thread your arm underneath your body. So we're just gonna let that arm float under and then reach and stretch your hand up to the sky and release. Let's float it down. And rise. Let's take this 3 more times with your breath. Take a minute to pause here. Let's come into thread the needle. We're just going to let ourselves relax down here for a moment. And finding that one spot to focus on. Find your drishti, one spot to focus, concentration and awareness. Staying right where you are. Option to deepen the stretch so you can begin to straighten your leg out. Maybe lift your leg up. Maybe reach your hand up. You can also take your hand for the foot if you'd like, coming into a bind. And then you could create a little bit of a sensation of kicking the foot into the hand. Let's release that one. We're going to come out nice and slow. So we're going to bring our hand down, knee down. And then as you ground into your left hand, let's take that right hand to the sky and begin to create some circles here. So find large circles, maybe find smaller circles. And then begin to flow in the other direction. Let's release. We're going to take this to table. Lower your stomach down, lift up through your heart. Tailbone lowers, crown of the head lowers. Flow through cat and dog stretch for a moment. Lengthen your spine as you inhale. Lengthen your spine as you exhale. As you inhale, let your shoulders relax from your ears. Create that space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. And then on the exhale, round your back. And imagine creating space between the shoulder blades. Coming into a neutral spine, let's sweep our left hand to the sky. Take a nice deep full breath in here. And then we're going to sweep that arm underneath. And then reach and stretch the arm up. Breathing here. And lower. Let's take that one 3 more times. And then letting yourself float down. Let's take it to that thread the needle stretch. So we're just going to draw the arm underneath our body. We'll take that moment to pause. This is going to give us that awesome neck stretch, a nice shoulder opening, full breath in, full breath out. Decide where you'd like to take this one. Maybe leg lift, maybe hand lift, maybe hand for foot. And release. Let's take that knee down. Hand comes down, grounding into your right hand. We're going to sweep our left hand to the sky. Find your circle. And then move in the other direction. And release. Let's come back into tabletop and making your way to child's pose for a moment. So we're just going to sink our hips to our heels and then let your heart soften down to the yoga mat. And then just noticing here where you might be holding on to tension. And then with each exhalation, let that tension go. Let your body relax. Let your body release into the stretch. Pressing into down dog when you're ready. Toes curl under, sitting bones to sky. Let's shake it out a little bit. Bend one knee, bend the other knee. Let your head relax, yes. Let your head relax, no. Come on forward, let's land in plank. We're gonna take a high push-up pose. Knees can always lower if you would like to modify. Let's come into Sphinx. We'll start with a nice gentle back bend. So lower all the way to the earth. Hands wide in front of you, elbows in line with your shoulders. Reach for opposite arms. Breathe into your low back bend. Maybe press your hands down, elbows lift up. Elbows round in towards one another a little bit for low cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Arms can straighten, coming into seal. Let's reach, let's stretch to the crown of the head. Lowering down to the mat. Take a nice deep full breath in here. Press yourself into down dog when you're ready. And walk your toes to the hands. Let's make our way into a fold. And then as you take your fold, let's shake it out a little bit. Maybe bend one knee, bend the other. Let your head relax, yes and no. Take a half lift here. We're going to find a flat back. Fold it forward. Let's rise on up, coming up for mountain pose. Draw your hands at your heart as you breathe out. Hands are going to sweep to the sky. Fingers will interlock and press your palms right up to the sky. We're going to lengthen our spine. Release your hands to the right. Maybe feel your left hip pressing off to the left, just guiding you deeper into the stretch for your spine. Come back to neutral, realign, lengthen, and release to the left. Try to feel really grounded in both of your feet. We're going to come back to center, releasing your hands behind your body, fingers interlock, palms touch. Lengthen your spine as you breathe in. Fold yourself forward as you breathe out. And try to relax the fronts of your shoulders. Just notice if that helps you move a little deeper into your shoulder stretch. Hands relax into your low back. Hands float down to the yoga mat. Right foot takes a float back for runner's lunge. Core engages. Let's come on up. Find your way to crescent. As you take crescent warrior, feel that the right leg is really active. We want to press firmly through our heel. Back of the knee, leg is active, leg is energized. We're going to come forward taking a flying warrior. So we're just going to engage our core to take that shift forward. Feel your navel move back and up to the spine slightly. Try to create that line that flows from your heel to the crown of your head. Come on forward, land in warrior three pose. Let's feel ourselves really grounded through all the parts of our left foot. Ground through the inside, through the outside. And then notice your body's natural tendency if you tend to roll in, maybe tend to roll out. Let's come on back, land in crescent. Feel your heel press straight back. So we want to feel that our heel is in line with our hips. We just don't want that heel to be turning into the center of the mat too much. Hands are going to come down. Let's take it to our lunge. Right foot floats forward, land in your fold. Left foot floats back, runner's lunge. Core engages, take it up to crescent. Arms are active. Feel the arms frame your ears. Fingers are active. Reach and stretch out through your fingertips. We're going to come forward, taking that flying warrior. Core engages, tailbone tucks, navel back and up to the spine a bit. Come on through, back into warrior three. Finding that one spot to focus on. Find your drishti, one spot to focus your concentration and to focus your awareness. Come on back. Let's do a little reset to crescent. Feel your tailbone tuck. Feel your navel move back and up to the spine slightly. And then creating that nice long line of energy that flows through your spine. Let's transition to our runner's lunge. Step yourself back. Find your way to plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Let's take an up dog here. So we're going to take this time to breathe into our low back bend. Press back, coming to down dog when you're ready. Let's take a big step through with that right foot, coming into warrior one. So right foot forward, left heel lowers. Hands are going to reach and stretch to the sky as you breathe in. Feel yourself breathing in and out through your nose. Lengthen your in-breath. Lengthen your out-breath. Hands behind your body. Let's take that yoga mudra. Folding down for that devotional fold. And then just seeing if you can let yourself move deeper into the stretch. Engage your core. Let's come back on through. Land in warrior one. Hands to the earth. Let's take it to that runner's lunge. Right hand lift. Take a runner's twist. With your in-breath, feel your spine lengthen. Out-breath, let your twist deepen. Shifting on your feet a tad, let's transition to side plank from here. So we're going to take our right foot to meet our left foot, and then hips are going to lift to the sky. Right foot's going to come into tree side plank. Breathe here. And then let the right foot flip over. We're going to come into wild thing. So we're going to be right on the toes of our right foot. The majority of the foot is lifted. Hips are going to reach and stretch up to the sky. Let's do a little reset. Float yourself back, three-legged dog, reset back, downward facing dog. Last foot's gonna take a big step through. Core engages, let's come on up. We're gonna rise, land in warrior one. Full breath in, full breath out. Let's take those hands behind your body. Fingers interlock, palms touch, lengthen, and fold. And then breathing here. Try to let go of tension through your shoulders and the back of your neck. Core engages, back on through. Let's take it to warrior one pose. Releasing down, let's take it into a runner's lunge. Left hand lifts, let's take it to a runner's twist. Maybe play with your gaze. If you look up to the sky, that's going to give you a little bit more neck stretch. Let's come to side plank from here. Left foot will meet your right foot. Hips lift to the sky. You could also take your arm up and overhead if you'd like. And then working with that variation of tree, let's take our left foot to the inside of the leg, holding it here for a moment. And then from here, we're going to come to wild thing. So you're just going to flip your foot over right on the toes of your foot, lift your hips up and breathe. Full breath in, full breath out. Shifting on the hands and the feet. Let's come to three-limb dog. Reset to down dog. Come forward into plank. Let's take a high push-up pose. Lower down, chaturanga. We're going to take that up dog here, breathing into your back bend and pressing back. Down dog, breathe out. Toes to the hands. Let's make our way forward. We're going to come back into our fold. Take a half lift here. Find your flat back. Fold yourself down. Rising up for mountain pose. Hands at your heart space, breathe out. Right hand for your right foot. Let's try dancer. We're going to come into Nadarajasana. So for dancer, you can grab on the outside of the foot. That's going to be a little bit gentler stretch on your shoulders. You can also grab on the inside of the foot if you'd like for more shoulder stretch. Last hand reaches and stretches to the sky. Maybe take the index and the thumb to touch, coming into a mudra. Begin to kick your foot into the hand. We're going to take our toes forward. And then breathing here. Feel that sensation of kicking the foot into the hand. So that's going to give us a nice back bend, give us a nice quad stretch, nice hip flexor and psoas stretch. And then also so strengthening for your standing legs. We strengthen all of the muscles through the foot, ankle, and through the knee. Let's come to warrior two from here. And then as you take warrior two, feel that your shoulders are over your hips. You just don't want to be leaning forward or back too much. Creating some movement. Let's straighten our front leg. Hands reach and stretch to the sky. Back into warrior two. Full breath in and full breath out. Let's take that one 5 more times here. Coming back, let's reset. Warrior two. We're going to come into reverse warrior. So we're going to float our front hand up and back. Back hand can glide on your back leg. Maybe you wrap your arm around your low back or reach for the other hip crease and take a half bind. Come on through. Let's do a little reset back to warrior two. We'll come down into a lateral angle. And then maybe extended lateral angle. And then just trying not to collapse here into the bottom shoulder. We'll try to create a little lifting here, a little bit of lengthening here in that bottom shoulder. Core engages. Take yourself back on through for warrior two. Let's straighten out our front leg. front hand reaches up and back. Breathing deeply here. So we'll expand through the lungs, expand through your ribs. Let's take it through. We're going to find our way back to warrior two. Windmill the hands to the earth. Runner's lunge. Right foot meets your left foot. Forward fold. Half lift here. Fold it forward. Let's come on up. Core engages to rise. Hands at heart. Breathe out. Last hand for your left foot. Let's try dancer on the other side. Right hand reaches out in front of you, kicking the foot into the hand when you're ready. Breathe here. Let's try to breathe deeply into the stomach, ribs, and chest. And then releasing from your chest, ribs, and the stomach. And we're going to take this one back into warrior two. Feel grounded in your feet. Almost create a little sensation that you could pull your feet in towards one another. Straighten your front leg, hands reach and stretch out, and release. Full breath in and out. Let's take that one 5 more times. Back into warrior two. Let's come into reverse. Float the front hand up and back. Try to keep that deep bend in your front knee. Body's natural tendency is to straighten the front leg a little bit. Come on through. Reset to warrior two. Release into a lateral angle. And then maybe lowering for extended lateral angle. Try to breathe into that hip stretch. Breathe into that nice shoulder opening as well. Core engages. Float back and up. Landing in warrior two. We're going to straighten out our front leg. Take the front hand up and back. Come on through. Back into warrior two. Windmill the hands to the earth. Runner's lunge. Let's take our left foot forward. We're going to come into a fold. Take a half lift here and release. Let's come on up, rising for mountain pose. Hands at your heart space as you breathe out. Taking a moment to close the eyes. Let's reconnect here to our breath and our body. And then as you're breathing, feel your body reacting to the breath. As you breathe in, feel your chest rise and fall. Feel the navel rise on in-breath, fall on the out-breath. And then remembering each time that you breathe, you bring life and oxygen to all of the cells throughout your body. Working with the balance pose. So if you need to grab onto the wall or grab onto a chair or something, you can always do that. So we're going to take our right hand, we're going to take our thumb, our index finger, and our middle finger, and then reach for the big toe on your right foot. So you can stay here just holding the posture. Option to extend your leg in front of you. And then there's also an option too to take your knee out to the side of the room. And then maybe you want to straighten the leg there. Left hand can reach to the left. Maybe take your index and your thumb to touch, coming into a mudra. Letting your gaze float off your fingertips. Breathing here. Feel that nice stability of your left leg. Know that you're strengthening all of the muscles through your foot, through your ankle, and through your knee. We're going to come back to center. So you can do a little reset on your legs. Sweep your arms side to side. Let's find empty coat sleeves. And then resetting to center. We're going to take our feet in line with our hips, reaching for your big toe on the left side and staying here. Maybe extend your leg in front of you. Maybe take your knee off to the left and then straighten if you'd like. And then maybe right hand to the right and gazing off the right fingertips. Full breath in and out. Feel your core working. Breath flows in your nose and out your nose. And release. Back to neutral. Feet wider than hips. Let's take our arms side to side. We'll come into empty coat sleeve. Let's bring our feet right in line with our hips. Hands are going to reach and stretch to the sky as you breathe in. Fold yourself forward, breathe out. Take a half lift. Plant your hands and make your way into plank. Let's take a high push-up pose. Lower all the way down to the mat. And then as you're lowering here, let's work with a quad stretch. We're going to take our right hand for our right foot. And if it's really tricky to grab your foot, if you have a yoga strap close by, you can just loop that strap around your foot. And if you don't have a yoga strap, maybe grabbing a rope or a tie or just something around the house just to kind of loop the foot in a bit. And if you'd like, maybe close your eyes here. And then breathe into the stretch for your quad. Breathe into the stretch for your hip flexor. Breathe into the stretch for your psoas. Let's release that right leg. And then when you're ready, left hand for your left foot, we're going to pull that in. Maybe notice if the stretch feels very similar on this side to the first side that we worked on. The stretch may feel very similar, may feel very different, one side to the next side. And then also just notice too where you feel the stretch. So we all experience each pose so differently. So maybe you feel this one in your legs, in the hips, maybe in the low back. And then let's release that one. We're going to release our foot down, press on up. Let's come into table. From table, sweep your feet to the right or to the left. We're going to come into seated. And then as you come into seated, let's work with a really nice hip opener. This one will be awesome for opening up the legs, the hips, helping us with low back tension. We're going to start with our left leg and try to take your left foot near your right hip. Try to be on the outer edge of your foot and then try to let your foot kind of roll up towards the sky. So almost this like rolling sensation, and try to get your top knee in line with your bottom knee stacked and get this knee lowering down as best as you can. So we'll be here for a minute. You can stay right here. You can option to take your right foot to your left hip. You can lift up. You can shift a little side to side just so that you feel really grounded in both sides of your body. And we're going to take a side stretch. Left hand lowers down, right hand reaches up and over. We're going to breathe deeply here. Expand through your lungs and expand through your ribs. And then coming on up, realign, right hand plant, left hand lift. Try to press down through that left sitting bone. Lengthen that whole side body, arm and fingertips. Come back to a neutral spine, and then option to take a wrap with the arm. So hands will sweep out into T. Right arm under, left arm over. Option to reach for opposite shoulders. Maybe press the backs of your hands together. Maybe the arms wrap and hands will wrap. And we'll breathe here for a moment. As you're breathing, feel the navel rise and fall with your breath. Feel the chest rise and fall with the breath as well. Unwrapping arms, unwrap your legs, send your legs out in front of you, give them that little shake out. And then right foot to your left hip. Stay here, maybe left foot to the right. And then just being mindful of your knees always when we take a hip stretch. So we just never want to feel any stretching or pulling or anything in the knees. We're going to feel, you know, sensation in the hips and things like that, but we just don't want to feel stuff in our knees. Let's take our right hand down. We're going to sweep our left arm up and over. And breathe here. So this gives us a wonderful stretch for our spine. Nice lateral flexibility for the spine. Come on up, realign. Left hand lowers, right hand lifts. And then back to neutral. Realign your spine. Hands sweep out to the sides of the room. Let's take our left arm under, right arm over. Reach for opposite shoulders. Maybe press the backs of your hands together. Maybe arms wrap and hands wrap. So this one gives us a really great IT band stretch also. So the leg that's on top, so the side we're on the right. So that gives us a great stretch for the IT band, this whole band that gets a little bit tight, really just really good for kind of opening that up, finding a little length and finding a little space there. Let's release that one. We're gonna unwrap our arms. Unwrap our legs. Let's take those legs right out in front. We can give them a little shake out. And from here, coming right down onto your back. So as you come down onto your back, let's hug our knees up and into the chest and into the stomach and give them a nice little hug in. Gently rock off to the right and rock off to the left. And then take this rocking into circles. So maybe find large circles, maybe find smaller circles. And then circle in the other direction. Let's extend our legs right on up to the sky. So we're just going to sweep those legs right on up. And feel that your core is engaged here. So we want to create a sensation of tucking our tailbone to help glue our mid back into the mat. And then you might feel that your low back lifts from the mat a little bit. We're also going to take our hands up to call this one sleeping tiger. Let's close our eyes for a moment. And this brings us into a nice gentle inversion. So we're just kind of reversing the flow of gravity, reversing the blood flow, circulation. And just feel yourself melting here. So the eyebrows, the jaw, relax, release. Let go of tension through the back of your head and neck. Relax your shoulders, arms, and hands. Relaxing the upper, mid, and low back. And then trying to relax your legs and your feet as best as you can. Let's release this one. We're going to just take it down to the yoga mat. Feet can come a little bit wider than the hips. We'll just do a little windshield wipe of the knees to the right and off to the left. And then letting that go, let's come into stillness here. We're going to move into Shavasana. We'll come into our resting pose of our practice. So if you need to take a final stretch or movement, you can do that. If you need to grab any props to support you, you can do that as well. Just for now, without asking how, let yourself sink into stillness. Just for now, lay down the weight you so patiently bear upon your shoulders. Feel the earth receive you, and the infinite expanse of sky grow even wider as your awareness reaches up to meet it. Just for now, allow a wave of breath to enliven your experience. Breathe out whatever blocks you from the truth. Just for now, be boundless, free, awakened energy, tingling in your hands and feet. Drink in the possibility of being who and what you really are. So fully alive that when you open your eyes, the world looks different, newly born and vibrant, just for now. And taking a moment here, letting your breath deepen. Maybe wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And come onto your side. We're going to find our way into a fetal posture. And then as you take fetal, maybe create a pillow with your lower arm. Gently support your head. Feel your body take the shape of the pose. We're going to make our way up into seated. And then as you come into seated, hands come to Brad Heart, Anjali Mudra, prayer position. Letting the eyes close if you'd like. Take a moment here. Thank yourself for practicing yoga, for doing something so good for your mind, body, and spirit. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. It's so wonderful to be here with you. I hope everyone is feeling better. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I look forward to seeing you next class. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.